Before we get into the information, I would like to take a moment to welcome once again all of the new subscribers to the channel. I am the Jedi. We have been growing exponentially, weekly, daily, monthly, literally, and I have been both surprised and pleased at the growth. It's kind of reminiscent, really, of when my original channel took off, you know. Um, Boom, we started, and then the next thing we had one subscriber, two subscribers. Next thing you know, it was 19,000 subscribers, 4.5 million views, over 1,000 videos, and we were in 26 countries in Africa, and it was just wow. So it kind of reminds me of that, but I'm pleased that my people are finding me, and I say welcome to you to the channel. Um, as you get to know my curriculum, you will begin to understand that I am not like anyone else that you have or will be exposed to. I'm someone who's aware of my uniquity on the earth and my gifts from the divine. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. I am a truth speaker, and I warn you now, if you're someone who is not acquainted with the truth or have any issue with the truth, I am not the dude for you. I speak from my soul when I speak. I'm someone who means every single action and word that I present on the earth. Nothing is contrived or artificial about me. I mean what I say, and I mean what I do. So, welcome. And also, if you're not familiar with how to search a YouTube channel, I've been surprised at people who have come and made comments or asked questions that clearly indicated to me they don't know how to search a YouTube channel. You should be embarrassed. If you're watching a video of anyone, you click on their icon and it will take you to the main page of their channel. You can see their entire body of work, their playlists, all their videos, all of it. It's all there. So, also make yourself acquainted, not just on the YouTube platform, but any online platform that you are dealing on. Know its moving parts. Know how it works. Because that knowledge can help you protect your own self. You should always know the moving parts. Always. Secondly, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has been donating to the Africa Fund on the GoFundMe for Africa 2020. Thank you all so much, and some of you have donated more than once, and I'm deeply grateful and honored, and I thank you so much. May the blessing of the divine be upon you in this life and in the hereafter. The link for the GoFundMe is always in the description box of my videos now, everyone. You can simply click on the link in the description box of the GoFundMe. I implore you, I encourage you, I ask you, I beg you to please give whatever you can. If it's $1, it all adds up. And a dollar donation is just appreciated as a $200 donation. We've had people donating from $200, $100, $50, any denomination you can name. People have been donating that. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Whatever is in your power. I had one person that recently donated that said, I gave the minimum that you were asking, because I was saying $6, you know. But the person was saying, you know, that's what they had, and that warms my heart. That warms my heart. Just give what you can. That's it. You know, when I see white people put out fundraisers for insignificant stuff, boom, their people support them. We've all seen where the murderers of one of our people, one of these fake ass people that wear Halloween costumes and a badge, and they raise untold money for them. Dylan Roof, who murdered 9 of our people in South Carolina, they had set up one for him and raised outrageous money. I'm your brother. My cause is legitimate, and it is sincere. We have just as much financial power, if not more, than anybody else. Do what you can to help. I'll see you soon. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. And this is not really supposed to be the next video for you guys. I have put together a nearly 3-hour piece on white oppression. This claim that they make now that they're so oppressed and all of it. I'm also bringing some statistics and things to not only discredit that, but I'm also bringing other information showing the rising of their deaths on the earth, but certainly in this nation. I was forced to bring this because people keep sending little things in their comments about Farrakhan spoke in Iran, Farrakhan spoke in Iran, Farrakhan spoke in Iran. Go put it on YouTube, do this, do this. So I feel like a couple days ago, whenever I saw something, it was a short clip of him speaking, but it was a segment. A reporter was asking a question, and then they cut in and went back to it was a news show, you know, kind of like if you're watching CNN and they're showing you live pictures from something, and then they cut in and they're back to the desk, you know. And there was all this fervor, you know. Well, I've watched the entire fucking thing now, and I'm here to say settle down. And it was not an easy watch because there was an Arabic translator there. And usually when dignitaries and things speak, they mute the sound of the speaker and then they elevate the sound of the translator, you know. Well, in this case, this is more, we're lucky they didn't do that because it would have all been in Arabic. Anyway, it was difficult because he would make a statement and the translator has to say it and then go back to him, and then when reporters get up to ask questions, if they don't speak English, then they have to say it in Arabic. Then the guy retranslates it, and then Farrakhan answers. So it was very difficult, a struggle hour and 14 minutes and 32 seconds. Can I tell you this? All right. And so, but there's some things that come out of this. First of all, I want to begin by saying what I've always said, because it is the truth. The Nation of Islam are not Muslims. They're not. And recently I was on a live stream on another brother's channel. I won't name him. If he's watching, he knows who he is. And he got as hurt as most Nation of Islam people do when you say that. And he offered that, you know, we don't say that about Muslims. It's not our place to say if somebody's a Muslim or not. And he's right if you are a Muslim. If you are a Muslim, if you are a Sunni or a Shia Muslim following the Quran, because we don't expect perfection out of you, the human being. But what you don't get to do is to deny anything in the divine revelation from Allah. No one disputes, except for people who aren't acquainted with the Quran, but even non-Muslim scholars all agree the Quran is absolutely the work of the divine. Period. Meanwhile, white Christian theologians and scholars all say the Bible is not divine. It is not the work of God. All right? So, you don't get to deny anything that's in the Quran. The unforgivable misstep that earns them the label of not Muslim is A, there is a surah of the Quran revealed from Allah called Ikhlas. You've heard me say it 1,000,000 times. Because you see, all through the Quran, Allah is telling you who He is and all of His attributes and everything about Him. We know who the creator of the heavens and the earth is. We know Him. We know. No Christian can even make that claim. They don't know Him. They don't know Him. Because the information about your Lord is not in your scripture, and we can make this statement, I the individual, because I know your scripture. Muslims know it. But there is a surah, a chapter of the Quran, it's very short, it's just a few lines, called Ikhlas, that says, Qul hu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yulid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Say, Qul. Qul is a commandment. It's a strong, do it, tell it, right now. There's no other way. It's a strong word. You can't almost really give its full meaning in English, but I tried. Qul. Allahu Samad. He is Allah, the one and only. Qul hu Allahu ahad. I'm sorry. Qul hu Allahu ahad. He is Allah, the one and only. Allahu Samad. The ever-living, self-subsisting, the only absolute. Lam yulid. He begets not. Wa lam yulad. Nor is he begotten. Wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And there is none like unto him. He is the one and only. Period. That revelation came down to Muhammad ibn Abdullah, because you remember the Quran is revealed over the course of 23 years. And every prophet always says to Allah, who do I tell the people you are? What do I say? And that's what came. Qul hu Allahu ahad. You see? So when these people want to stand up and try and make that a white dude from Michigan, his parents were from the Middle East, whatever, but he was from Michigan and he was a criminal. You can actually Google a fucking what do you call it? Mugshot of this dude, Farad Muhammad. They say Fard Muhammad, like he's got some class or stature. They try and make that this dude, like as if God came as a man. In Islam, one of the main foundations of Islam is the concept of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. Oneness without partner, equal, offspring, or any associate at all. He is one, ahad. You see? And so anyone making that proclamation is not a Muslim. So we say that Christians are not Muslims. Why? Because they think that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, or that he was God come as a man, depending on which one of the people you took to. So you are not a Muslim. You don't get the credit without the work. I always say this. That's on anything in life. You don't just get anointed. You don't. And they are even more egregious than the Christian because knowledge is available to them. They have the Quran. They don't know it in Arabic, and they don't recite it in Arabic, so that's not even Quran. Subhanallah. But they have it, and they deny that. They don't pray the way Muslims pray. They don't fast the way we fast. They're not Muslims. They're not. They're not. And we could allow that they don't fast properly, they don't pray properly, we could allow all of that. I want you to hear me on this now. We could allow all of that and still say those are our brothers and our sisters in Islam. But, may Allah help them with their deen or whatever. That's all fine. I know Muslims that smoke. Do you understand? It was one Ramadan even. There was a new Muslim brother that after the Friday prayer, of course we're fasting. So I had given him a ride to the mosque, and I had told him that because when we go back to the mosque in the evening to break the fast for the day, that's known as iftar. I was like, I'll come pick you up, and whatever. So I went back, and the brother was passed out on a couch, high on crack. That's still my Muslim brother. Still. Do you understand? Still. I need to give you that understanding so that when I say these people are not Muslims, it's because they're committing the most egregious act of shirk in Islam, where you associate any equals or partners or offsprings with the divine. We don't tolerate that. No matter how well intentioned you are, we just can't allow that. Because Allah doesn't allow it. So it's beyond us. They are not Muslims, damn it. And you can get as ass hurt as you want, and you can go into a fucking seizure. I don't give a fuck. You're still not a Muslim if you're under the nation of fucking Islam. Done. Now, having said all of that and making my eloquent indictment, I love my brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam, even though they're not Muslims. There is absolutely a kinship, absolutely, that I feel with them because their struggle is mine. Just like my brothers and sisters who are not Muslims that are Christian. That's still my brothers and sisters as Africans. And Farrakhan is a worthy and courageous and fearless leader. And indeed, as African people in this nation, if we're going to look up and say, well, do we have any leaders? Is there anybody? Is there anybody? It's this dude. And I've always professed my love for him. I was at the Million Man March, and to that point of his leadership, those nearly 2 million brothers that was out there, those weren't 2 million Muslims. There aren't 2 million people in the Nation of Islam. Do you understand that? They've got a few thousand. And I don't even know if they all showed up. It was African brothers of all stripes that filled up that fucking National Mall in D.C. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes. So his reach is to African people regardless of religious stripe. We know he is sincere. And we know when we hear him that what he speaks is the truth. That's what's up. I wish he would fully utilize his position to completely mobilize us, start and even our own army, our own military. You understand? Have a military, have a full structure, and start a black government with this dude as president. Done. You understand? He has the exposure. He has the reach, but he also has the ability to finance that. Of course, all the rest of us would finance it as well, but I'm saying this is someone who can go to other nations and they can give him large sums of money. You see. And we're people that don't have a whole lot of resource in that regard. We're holding trillions actually with our collective spending that we do in this nation every damn year. We would harness that. You see, I would like to see him to move it. Stop trying to preach Islam so much, because you're not really preaching that. And that's what I tell anybody. When you listen to him speak, he's not really speaking religion. He cites some things, but his whole thing and the Nation of Islam has always been about black liberation. Black liberation. That's what it's about. You understand? That's what it's about. And I share a kinship with him. In this talk, one of the things, there was a sister, I know it was a sister. They never showed the people asking questions, but I know my sister when I hear her. Damn. So she asked this press conference right now, on the internet, on social media and stuff like that. You have media sites that are blocking the stream. What is it about you that people are blocking this? And he was saying, because when you speak the truth, I'm paraphrasing his words now. You speak the truth, people don't want to hear it. And they definitely don't want you to hear it unfiltered, because then that can change hearts and minds and the perception of people, you see. So, and it was also a revelation for me, because I didn't know it was being live streamed when it happened. I guess this was on the 8th. And then also, I didn't know it was streamed, and I certainly didn't know that, it was being blocked. Not surprised though, because the white man is the devil, and they are the absolute only people on the planet Earth that don't like to hear the fucking truth, because they're the only criminal and the perpetrator of all stress of all humanity. So if you're talking about the problems of people on the earth, they're absolutely going to be implicated. That's it. The same way every time it's a crime, they want to put a black brother's picture up on the fucking picture on the television. You put their white ass up for all fucking strife of humanity. That's it. That's it. You see? But there was another reporter that stood up and asked him about this chant of death to America. But he was trying to be crafty with his language. And one thing about this brother, and this is what pissed me off about the whole shirk thing when it comes to them. He should tell his people, look, Farad Muhammad was not a fucking prophet. He's not mentioned in the Quran, the Torah, or the scriptures. Nobody knows this dude except for these people. That's the only people that cite him or know him. He should say, look, fuck him. We just need to go with what is mainstream Islam, because that's what Warith Din Muhammad did after Elijah died. The son of Elijah, Warith Din Muhammad, died in great honor with the world Muslim community. Farrakhan will absolutely be respected, but as a man of honor, more so, not like he was this great, imam, because he doesn't even call himself an imam. And in Islam, our preachers are imams. He is known as the minister. That's absolutely foreign to us. That's Christendom. That's the only place you have ministers, is Christendom. You see? But again, he is a very, very, very intelligent man. He is. That's the other thing that makes me sick, because it's like, you know better. You see? You know better. So you have to get up early and stay up late to pull shit over on him. You just goddamn it do. And so the guy was he was talking about this Death to America thing, which we all have the right to chant. God damn it, Death to America. Shit. But you see, so fragile and timid is this white devil that he was citing that the Americans were putting sanctions on Iran for the citizenry that is chanting Death to America. It's not the government that's chanting it, and he's saying it's the citizenry that's chanting it, and goddamn it, they have a right to chant it. Yeah. And then he gave some history about the installing of the Ayatollah Khomeini and so forth, and how the CIA has, had operatives, which we know that, which is just the Caucasian intelligence agency. That's all it is. And he talked about how this orange circus is trying to set Iran up for attack. You notice when after the midterm elections, he came out and he had to compare his midterm election to Obama. And he kept mentioning Obama because, again, there's white inferiority. You understand? A white man knows my dick is bigger than his, period. I'm a better man than him, even if I'm 150 pounds wet. You feel me? It don't matter. Any black woman can pop out a baby quicker than a white heifer ever will. You just have to admit that you're inferior in this bitch. Everybody is not the same. But you're the only people that make that something to try to criminalize other people for their superiority or their superiority over your bitch ass. You're the most inferior people. There are fewer of you of humanity. You are the minority of all humanity. And you're dying off. Everybody else's numbers are increasing. Seems high time you should try and just get in fucking line and get along. Because your annihilation is in progress. Hear that. It is in progress. And then Farrakhan said to the little slick guy that stood up from Press TV that about the Death to America comment. He says to him, you're trying to also create a situation whereby it makes it difficult for me to go back to the land where I live. You see. And then he said, but I want to say, to America, anything that you're trying to plan for me or anything like that, trust me, those who support me, I fear what they would have planned for you. You see. Because one thing I want to say about the Nation of Islam, and I hope I'm right on this. I hope. I pray. So do them FOI brothers, if not even the general rank and file. I would hope that they are as fearless as I hope they are. That they are true martyrs. Because I will absolutely stand in front of a bullet for righteousness. I understand. And am prepared. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But sadly, that doesn't run amongst our culture. Because if it did, we would have already rose up in this bitch. You see, the reason why you have generation after generation of people that aren't raising up and doing something is because people are in fear. In fear. We haven't launched a mass attack on fucking police in this bitch for decades and generations. Your grandfather was beaten up by the police, and now your bitch ass is being beaten up by the police. Where is the mass mounting to go and take their bitch asses out? Because it's fear. Fear. You see? Fear. Because there's nobody else on earth other than fucking white people that wouldn't cheer that act. Everybody else would go finally and be cheering in their streets in their respective countries. Because the whole world knows what's going on here with us. They see it. They know it. And they would be in the streets dancing. Finally, black people have risen up. Finally. Because people always like to see oppressed people get their just due. It's like you see the fighter that has got the heart in him, and the one that's winning really shouldn't be winning. And you don't really like him anyway because he's a bad human being. You're rooting for that fighter to get up off that mat. Come on, you can do it. Get up, man. Get up. And then he gets up and just clobbers the motherfucker in the face. His fucking mouth guard goes someplace and his teeth all fall out on the fucking mat. And you just go, yeah, yes. You see? You want to see that one who is due justice get it. Who is due do it. Do that they get it. So there's fear. One thing I appreciate about these brothers in the nation, and even the ones that aren't FOI, that sell the paper and the pie, those brothers, every single one of them that I know are serious. Serious. Like, no games. Because that's one of the things I love about the Nation of Islam is that sense of discipline they instill in brothers. And that's why I say, even if you're not trying to be a part of the Nation of Islam, or you're not even trying to be a Muslim, boys from the age of probably like 6 to 16, so I'm saying, should have, it should be mandatory, a part of their curriculum and education that they go through the Nation of Islam and any of its programs, just to learn how to be a fucking man, period. And then you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, all right? But we need, and if it's not the Nation of Islam, like I said, we just need something that changes the way that we're producing men. Because when we produce better men, we will have better women who will act like women. Women are now, they're evolving into what they're trying to respond to us. So they're out of their natural incarnation and their expression completely. Completely. You see, we shouldn't have women walking around the earth that look like fucking Cardi B or Nicki goddammit Minaj. That is not a black woman in her expression. That's not her. That's not her. Give a fuck. That is not a black woman. And definitely not a queen. But black men have produced that. Have produced that. Because it's all backwards now. The women are taking their cue from us. When every cue is supposed to come from them. If we say, fuck that, we're not into that. Then what they do, they got to change. They will. They do. They have. They're walking around wearing bundles and bullshit because too many of us was looking at white bitches. And then they started getting seduced by white bitches themselves. Thinking, well, if I look like a white bitch, then I'm going to be the it thing. I don't like a fucking bundle. I don't. Whatever God gave you, that's what the fuck I want to run my fingers through. Period. Done. You see? So it comes back to us as men. But the majority of us are not men. You understand? I'm a man. And when I look around the throne room, I only see that mine is the one that's occupied. I don't see any men. I don't see them. I don't know where they're at. I don't see them. I don't know. You see? We're not producing men. We're not. We're not. Because one of the things that comes with a man is a sense of righteousness. And whatever you got to do for righteousness, that's what you're going to do. So you don't stand around and twiddle your fingers and film some shit. You step up and you act. Like that brother that stepped up when that white devil stepped up on our sister, wherever the fuck that was, in the parking lot. He had that peace with him, but he ain't even need it. He just need to show this motherfucker, I'm ready for your white bitch ass. And he ended up knocking his fucking grill out. That's what we need. Every goddamn day. Wherever we exist and breathe. When we saw our sisters being beat up by them fucking Asians in that damn beauty supply shop, should have been 80 fucking people down there the next minute. As soon as we saw the video. Handling. You see what I'm saying? Because we've had enough. And righteousness abides on our side. We are the victims. We are the oppressed. We are the disrespected and the downtrodden. The least considered. You understand? Yet we are the greatest thing that exists on this planet. Everyone has and is taking their cue from us. Even in Africa. As great as our brothers and sisters are there. We've been put through something else that they weren't. So we are even stronger than them. And they strong as shit. So that makes us goddammit invincible. Goddammit invincible. I need a t-shirt that says black is invincible. That's my slogan. Black is invincible, bitches. In goddamn invincible. Anyways, so I digress. Everybody needs to go through Nation of Islam. God damn it. All right. And I heard him calling really for a unification of the Islamic world globally, you know. Because remember, of the 1.8 billion Muslims on the earth, which don't include the Nation of Islam, of the 1.8 billion Muslims that are on the planet, only, I think the number might be 20% now. 20% of that exists in the Middle East. They make up the smallest fraction of Muslims on the planet Earth. Like, Arabs are not Muslims. I'm over it. All right. But he was calling for that, you know, while also criticizing, and I don't mean that in a bad way, some of the disunity that goes on in probably the Middle East more so, because when you see like the Palestinians being in all this suffrage for all these years, those are Arabs. Where's the fucking rest of the Middle East to come in and bomb the fuck out of Israel? How come you're not helping your Arab brothers? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know? So, and you know, and Saudi Arabia is suspect because, you know, they have so much oil and all of this. And they deal with the white devil. And you know, there's not supposed to be dynasties in Islam. That's you can't do that. So the Saudi royal family, that's not allowed. We can't with that. You know, I don't really know how to place that. I just know we're not supposed to have that. And maybe there's some extenuating circumstance with them, because there's always been royal families, you know, kings and queens and rulers and shit, you know. And I don't know. I'm not educated enough on that. But I do want to say this. You know, when you look at Saudi Arabia and you see how wealthy it is, and then you look at like Dubai, everybody loves Dubai. Everybody wants to go to Dubai, all of that. Well, that's exactly what the entire fucking continent of Africa should look like, bitches. That's what Africa is supposed to look like. Because everybody's always talking about Africa got all the resources. Africa got all the resources. Yeah, okay. How come it don't look like goddamn it Dubai then? Oh, that's right. Because in the nations where it's run by Muslims, the white devil's not there. But where the Christians are, they sell out all the resources, and so it don't look like shit. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just okay. Okay, but Dubai is run by Muslims, and so okay, so the Muslims don't give in, but the Christians, okay, all right. Just checking my knowledge, you know. Again, it's weak ass Christian people that are the worst thing to us. The worst. The worst. I just saw, yeah, I was clicking around because I found somebody new that I'm following on YouTube, but I saw this African pastor in Africa, I don't know what country, and there he was, that same drama of preaching that you see with Christian pastors in this country. It's an exact mimic of all the shit they do. But for the fact that I knew he was African and knew he was in Africa, it was any fucking black pastor USA. I'm not exaggerating. Not. And it made me sick. Had I been in Africa, I probably would have punched him in his jaw. Because he totally wouldn't have been expecting it. And said, you need to sit the fuck down. Where'd you learn that bullshit? You're a trick. A trick. I'm over it. But, so I saw him calling for, but also he mentioned that Trump, the Orange Circus, and I'm guilty of not paying attention to any fucking thing that he does. Like, cause I always follow politics and stay up on, what's going on, you know, but since he's been in office, I'm not interested. Like the shit that raises up above water and I know about it, okay, fine. But I can't fucking stand him because he is the quintessent white devil. Quintessent white devil, and represents everything that I know to be true about their people. Period. 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 And so I have been remiss and negligent in my vigilance. So I had to learn from my brother that Trump went there, he makes deals, and he was showing them pictures of these new military planes and this and that, and got a several $billion deal with them for these planes. But Farrakhan said, but you weren't listening to the language. You didn't hear what he was saying. He was trying to put division between the Sunni and the Shia. And he was trying to get the Muslim world to shun their brother in Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran. By the way, you notice the American media never says Islamic Republic of Iran. That's its full title. The Islamic Republic of Iran. You see? That changes. Because remember, I always tell you how you think and speak is how you relate and react. And language is important. What language do you use to say it? When you hear Islamic Republic, that tells you that's a Muslim nation, clearly. You just hear Iran. It's not enough. It's the Islamic Republic of Iran. And their constitution is the glorious Quran. Period. And they've kept every treaty that they've signed, as Farrakhan was pointing out. Because Muslims, we keep our fucking word. Period. I've told you before, even if you're not trying to be a Muslim, if you're trying to buy a car, go find a dealership and ask, do you have a Muslim that works here, and do business with him. You want to go to anything, do anything. Do business with Muslims. You need a contract, you need a plumber, I don't give a fuck what you need. Do business with a Muslim, I'm telling you. Because we do what we say because we fear Allah and the last day and you don't. So it's not about getting over on you. We can't, we won't, and we don't. We're honest people, period. God-fearing. We actually do it. Everybody else just talks about it. Just talks about it. Christians don't see nothing wrong with a little white lie. Just, a little white lie. Well, to the Muslim, that could mean my salvation. That could mean I'm going to be in hellfire eternally, I might be or I could not be in paradise. You see, I've said to you many times, your character is inferior. 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 It just is. It just is. It just is. If righteousness is not your constitution that you absolutely live by, pure righteousness, not as you define it, but what it is, then you are inferior. Not only in my eyes, but in the eyes of the divine. That's what's real. That's what's real. But, as I say, he said to them that Iran has honored everything that they've ever agreed to with America. But America, which is white people, means they lie. And nobody is more acquainted with this devil than us. Because we're the ones they brought here in chains, in the bellies of ships. We know them. We know them. And I, as an individual, I feel it's my responsibility to always share that knowledge with the rest of the world. You know, any foreigners that I know, or immigrants or visitors, I always ask them, do you know white people? Do you really know them? Do you know? Let me tell you about them. Because my people know them. You see? I'm their intellectual tour guide in that moment. To pull back the veil, to show what really lies beneath and why they should never trust these people for a fucking thing. Ever. Ever. You see? And the one or two maybe possibly could maybe exist as good white people are aberrations. You're probably more lucky to win the lottery or find a fucking four-leaf clover. They don't exist. And when they do, like I say, it's an aberration or four-leaf clover, because they're out there. Four-leaf clovers are out there. I've had a four-leaf clover in my life. All right? But everybody knows you got to look for them. You got to have a whole patch of clovers. Find the four-leaf clover, you know. And why is it the four-leaf clover? I need to do more search on that and study. Like, what is it? I know there's something evil behind that shit. Why does it need to be a fourth leaf? What the fuck does that mean? What are you telling me? Like, what are you implying? What, you know? I don't know. Anyways, this was not the shocking, headline-making press conference that people were trying to imply, to me at the very least. You know, we've seen Farrakhan. We know when he's at his fieriest and all that kind of stuff. This was a press conference, you know, and I didn't find anything controversial or scandalous about it in the way that people were trying, that I felt like people were implying, you know. And so I wanted to just come and try and offer some kind of, you know, like settle downness to it all, you know. But we are gifted and lucky and blessed by Allah to have this man, everybody, because I've said, and I've said many times, and I'll say it again, it will be a sad, 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 and dark, dark, dark day when and if we lose this brother. He is a warner, and I can appreciate the task that he has undertook. You understand? As a truth teller myself, I've had 2 fucking channels shut down in this bitch, and I don't give a fuck. Do you understand? Because I am still the Jedi, bitches. Still. Taking down a video or taking down a channel, you haven't taken me down, bitch. I'm still the source. I'm still the source. It's me. It's like you cleaning up a flood in, you know, in your room or some shit, like, or in a bathroom or something, and I'm just standing at the faucet just letting it run. Just letting it run. You got to turn it off at the faucet, bitch, or you're going to forever be cleaning up. You see? You shut the Jedi down, you're going to be forever shutting me down, because I will continue to come back. Because I'm still the source of truth. It's me. It ain't a fucking video. It's me. It's like the Quran. The Quran is not any book. This is the Kitab, the book. The Quran is the recitation of the divine word. You cannot touch it. You can't touch it and you can't burn it. It's in the hearts of 1.8 billion Muslims. You destroy every Quran on this earth right now, and in 5 minutes we'll have it back. Word for word. Done. So let us be clear. When we quantify power and holdings of an individual, do you understand what I'm saying to you? But this man, I can appreciate the pressure that he is under, you know. And I don't know how much his address is known or how much hate mail he gets and things like that. But what we notice is they talk shit about Farrakhan for as long as most of us have been on the fucking earth. But we don't ever hear about no white supremacist groups protest outside of his mosque or they temple. We don't call it a mosque, and they don't either. It's a temple. But outside their temple or at his house, they stay the fuck away. Why? Because they understand that the fucking FOI motherfuckers are not playing with your bitch ass. They're not. And Farrakhan always talk about, we don't have guns. We don't have guns. He's just saying that to be diplomatic, and he's also understands the power that he holds, and he wants to try and strike some sort of a balance so that his people don't kirk off. But he understands that he has a divine right to arm himself and to blast on any white devil that would approach after they have fired a first shot, though. You see? Don't tell me that Nation of Islam is not armed. Don't tell me that. Don't play with me. That's suicide. That's not love for self. So that's not love for self. So I'm saying that's suicide. So I'm saying don't tell me that. So I'm saying you're hurting my eyes. So I'm saying that's not love for self. But yeah. He's in the Islamic Republic of Iran there, but he was in other countries, and he's always traveling overseas and doing things and stuff. So I always consider him to be our black ambassador, the ambassador of our people. He's worthy. He's worthy. He's a good and honorable man, and I love him, and you can't talk about him without mentioning that he is physically beautiful. Allah has been good to him, as far as, I mean, he doesn't look much different now than he did when he was young. Great smile, good skin, that hair is always on fleek. And he still has a hairline that's respectable, that's respectable and would be respected by any man. Because that once you start losing your hairline, it's like, oh my God, But he's worthy. He's worthy. Religion aside, but it's important in this context only in that because that is the basis of righteousness. If he was a Christian, I wouldn't be saying this, even though he's not a Muslim. Go with me. But a Christian person they go there and they just sell their ass to whatever's going on. You see, Jesse's been overseas and different people. It's not the same thing, dude. It's not. This man, any black man, is a threat when they can't be bought off. And I'll end this because I could go on. I feel like there's at least another hour in me on this, but I'll end it by saying this. Reminding you, every single African person in history and current day, anybody we can name that's a coon, a traitor, a sellout, an embarrassment, anybody's ever done anything that we've bitched about, that we've tweeted about, that we've Instagrammed about, any of it, from an athlete to an entertainer to a rapper to a television star to a reality person to a politician, doesn't matter. All of them are black fucking Christians. Not a single one of them is a Muslim. This is the Jedi.